Today is going to serve as a very important reminder to you guys, or a wake-up call on when you should not spar. One of those days that you should just go, this is not safe. And something very sad happened in BC recently, which just made me want to share this with you guys today. First off, I would like to give a shout out to one of the most awesome companies in the martial arts industry, X-Martial, creating such unique apparel, rash guards, shorts, pretty much anything you want to get your hands on in terms of martial arts apparel, they have it. Plus gloves, shin pads, so many cool things. Link in the description below. Promo code Gabriel Varga to save 10%. So I just got news the other day that there was one of these tournaments where amateur fighters go, they compete against multiple people, not in a ring setting, just, you know, on the floor in a gymnasium. And the word that I got recently was somebody was competing there, ended up getting hurt, competed again, got hurt again, and now, as far as I understand, is in a coma. That's very sad, but the reality is, if somebody goes to one of these tournaments and they say 50, 60%, there are dangers that it's going to exceed that. It happens very often. And why does that matter? Well, because sparring can quite easily become very similar. You go in, oh, I'm going to go 50 or 60%. You get tagged. You try to hit the guy back a little harder. He goes harder, and all of a sudden it's 80, 90%. I've seen this numerous times. I've been involved in that numerous times. And we want to have certain days when we recognize, okay, this is not a good day to spar, and I should be smart, and I should take care of myself. So let's talk about when those times are. Number one, it's just one of those days where you know something is off. You know you're going to be a punching bag. You feel like you're going to get tagged. I have had those days where I just go, it's just not a smart day for me to spar. I'm not going to gain anything from this. And yes, there's an argument to be like, you can't always be 100% on sparring day. You can't go, oh, I'm only going to spar when I feel this good. Yeah, there are going to be days where you feel like that, where you go, I'm still going to go in there. But when you have those awful days, step back, work your technique, get some cardio in. Don't go and be a punching bag. Because if you're just going to get lit up the whole time and you're going to leave with a headache, it's not a good day to be in there. Another time you should not engage in sparring is if you're actually at the gym, you're ready to go, and you see somebody on the floor who is just going way too hard. Maybe you're set up to do something like 5 hard rounds, and you just see this guy going with other people, and you're like, first of all, he's really good. Second of all, he has no control. You know you're going to go in for a battle. You know somebody's going to get knocked down. Why engage in that? My mindset nowadays is, look, I'm not getting paid to spar. And because of that, I don't want to put my brain at risk. So I will spar with certain people who are going to control themselves, and we can come out, we can touch gloves, give each other a hug, say good round, and come back and do it again next week. If you see somebody being an idiot and you know you're about to do rounds with them, just say no. And guys, a lot of what we're talking about today, head impact, CTE, concussions, a lot of it can be avoided with good defense. Make sure you sign up for my defense course, where you're going to learn so much about the art of defending yourself in combat sports. An unparalleled online course where you can meet with me in person for some live calls, and there's going to be 20+ pre-recorded videos where we talk about everything from eyesight to defense styles to how to do fantastic partner drills. 35% off for a couple more days as a thank you to everybody for getting me to 250,000 subscribers on the channel. The next time not to spar or to stop sparring more is when you actually get hit and you right away have a headache, or you get hit and you get knocked down. Ego stops us from pulling the plug. And you should have a coach there saying, no more today. But if you ever do get hit really hard, or you get knocked down, don't get back up and keep going. That's the time to take the rest, to stop the training for the day, to come back a day or two later, hopefully because you have zero headache, zero symptoms, to test out how you feel. Go, okay, I feel pretty good. Do a couple more test sessions a few days later, and then go, yeah, I'm free and clear to continue. But sometimes getting knocked down once and then coming back in because your ego tells you, yeah, I should keep going, get the guy back. Then you get clipped again. I've seen this at the gym. I've seen people get knocked down multiple times, and it's ridiculous. And a big part of continuing in fight sports is not taking too much damage. And you can mitigate that by doing everything I'm saying today. One other time where I would tell you it's not a good day to spar is if you are recently getting over being sick or you are actually feeling sick. When you go in, sometimes you already have like massive congestion, you have a headache. It only takes a couple taps before you feel even worse. You're not gonna perform well. I do not like sparring when I'm coming off serious illness or I'm actually feeling pretty darn sick. Nowadays, especially post-COVID, it just seems like it's good protocol, I suppose, not to be going into the gym when you're crazy sick anyway. A lot of people frown upon that, and you're just not gonna do that well. If it's a small little sniffle, or you're kind of like, oh, you know, I'm like, 10, 20% sick, yeah, whatever. Get in there, do your rounds, because that could happen on fight day. And I've had that happen to me before. But if you're like bedridden, or you have a crazy headache and you're going in for sparring, it's only gonna get worse. You're not gonna have a good day. So illness in sparring, at least pretty severe illness and sparring in my mind, do not go well together, and it is to be avoided. All of these things, all of these times to pull the plug on sparring are what are going to allow you to minimize your head impact, stay safe, and avoid things like this poor guy who is now in a coma, who took too much damage, apparently was at the event, got a number of times where he passed out and kept getting back in to compete. Again, this is just somebody telling me this recently. I may have my facts wrong, but I was told that, yeah, the guy had some sort of pass out moment and got back in, competed again, then had something similar, competed again. You want to be careful with all of this. Look, I've been in this sport now since I was a little kid. I've been sparring hard against adults since I was probably 13 years old. So we're talking about 25 years of sparring. And I've done my hard rounds, I have, but I've learned to pull back. I don't have headaches. I never have vision trouble. I don't have any symptoms of CTE. And the concussions, the number of concussions, even mild, that I have taken, like I can count them on my fingers. And that's what we want. So that when we get to the point where we're done competing, we can still do this for fun. I never want to stop doing this for fun. I don't want to finish at 40 years old or 42 years old and go, I have to stop because I have to protect this because I damaged it so much. So be smart, be safe, guys. Have fun, train hard, but not always in crazy rounds of sparring. And I will see you back here for another video soon.